We've been working toward the connected job site for years. As personal connected devices have become commonplace, the same experience became expected on the job site as well. Drone mapping can connect to a total site management system to provide real-time surveying. Fleet management software, telematics, and other connected systems allow a site to stay up to date with its routine maintenance schedule, avoiding unnecessary downtime, thus maximizing your equipment's uptime and profitability. Thanks to our segment's sponsor, Hyundai Construction Equipment, we'll explore the many ways connected systems make a job site safer, more efficient, and more profitable. Welcome everyone to ConExpo 2020. I'm Diana Henry along with Justin Thompson from Hyundai. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate being here.
So much excitement around here at ConExpo. What is new for you guys at your booth?
Man, we got a ton of new stuff, but what we're really focusing on is our brand new A-Series models. So we have new A-Series wheel loaders and A-Series excavators that we're featuring here at the show. This is our first launch for these machines here in the North American market, and we're featuring those here on our booth today.
What's catching attention out there?
So a couple of things, models that I'd like to say that are really catching some attention. So we have our HL930A XT model. So that's a new entry into the market. We didn't have this model before. It's a 2.5 yard loader with a B 4.5 Cummins engine in it. Raised a little over 26,000 pounds. Fits in a different market segment just below that 3 yard machine. It's a really good entry into that market. Other thing that we have is we have a new HX210A L model. That machine features the B 4.5 Cummins engine, so it's in the 20-ton class of excavators, but with a 4-cylinder engine, so it gets a little bit better fuel efficiency. It hits a different price point, and is a really good machine for the rental market. Where that we had our HX220 with a 6-cylinder, this fits just below that, and it really is going to target at that rental market in a different class of 20-ton excavators.
I was going to say, some of these new machines must be meeting some demands from customers, right? Some problems that need to be solved.
Right, and really it's fitting to get a little bit lighter. So the 220 was weighing somewhere around 52,000 pounds. This machine gets in at 47. So we save a little bit of weight. It's hit a different price point, fuel efficiency, and it also features our new EPFC, so electronic pilot flow control, positive flow control. So it gets a different control. We have better control of the machine, and you can customize how that hydraulic control is done all through our monitor. That machine also features our AAVM, so our all-around view monitoring, where we have 4 cameras, can stitch a 360-degree picture around the machine, and then also behind that machine features our AI vision, where it can actually detect a human versus an object, and you can set up a virtual fence behind that. And so we've got that on display here as well.
That sounds really cool.
And we also have a couple other things. We have a R18 electric model. So that machine's in the booth, and we have a 35 electric model that's here. We have a booth indoors and outdoors. Our outdoor booth, we're featuring 2 wheel loaders there, and HX220 with a tilt rotator on it that's in demonstration, and our R35 electric machine that's out there as well.
So customers, dealers, they can come up, get in the machines, and see it happen?
They can come up and watch everything happen. We've got an operator in there, and they can see everything that's going on. And we're also remote doing that. And speaking of remote, we have a HL960A model that's in Augusta, Georgia. All right, so I'm saying,
stay with me on this, right?
Stay with me on this. It's in Augusta, Georgia, but we have the operating station here in Las Vegas in our booth. We're operating that machine remotely. So you can stand there and you can watch the machine being run in Augusta and the operator operating it from here in Las Vegas. So brand new technology, the Hyundai Connect. It's super cool to see that happen. So we got demonstrations of that going on throughout the day.
On the cutting edge, as usual.
That's it. Tomorrow's edge today.
Frank Schneider from CalAmp joins me now. Thanks so much for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Great to be back at ConExpo.
It is a fabulous show, isn't it?
It is. It's always so great to see all the equipment here and the energy. It's a great industry to be in. I always love to come to ConExpo.
Let's talk a little bit about what CalAmp does for the industry.
Okay. CalAmp has a long history as a machine-to-machine communications company. We've been in the market for over 40 years now, and really what we do is we provide connectivity solutions for remote equipment, whether that equipment is a light-duty vehicle, heavy-duty vehicle, a trailer, and of course yellow iron. So ultimately what we do is we provide status, location, information about that equipment, and we provide it real time back to operators of the equipment so that they can optimize their operations and hopefully become more profitable as a result.
Yeah, because the problem out in the field is if you're sitting back at home base and you can't see what's going on with that machine, so real-time data that's useful and actionable.
Absolutely. So CalAmp is really an IoT company, and what we're all about is trying to collect that data from your remote assets, your mobile assets, and provide it back to the office as quickly as possible. And really at the end of the day, what CalAmp wants to be able to do for our customers is collect that data, aggregate that data, normalize that data, all of that kind of data handling that most customers, quite honestly, don't really want to do, because we don't really want to give our customers data. What we want to do is we want to give them actionable insights so that they can take that data and make it useful for their specific operations. Do you have a piece of rental equipment that's being operated on Saturdays, even though your contract says that it's only supposed to be operated Monday through Friday? Are you in New York City where, well, maybe New York City is a bad example, but where you might have some noise ordinances and heavy equipment's not supposed to be run after 10 p.m. because the neighbors don't like that? Great. Well, all of a sudden maybe you get an alert from our equipment that says somebody's running that equipment at 10 p.m. That now becomes actionable for you.
And also, customers are coming to you with their problems.
Absolutely.
Baseline solutions you have, but also customizable to each customer.
We do. We have a couple different models for engagement with our customers. Our customers range anywhere from the large OEMs that you see around us here at the booth, down to the direct contractors who are owning and operating equipment, to the rental companies as well too. And what we try and do is provide for them a solution that's right for their enterprise. And if that's a solution that we've already developed, that's great, everyone's happy. But we will also develop solutions specific to a customer's requirements, so that may involve a service and it may involve a hardware. We're developing new solutions all the time, both with our customers and with our OEM partners.
Bill from Zelo. Bill, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Diana.
Super exciting time to be here.
It certainly is.
So tell me a little bit about what Zelo does and how it really helps with mobile workforces.
Zelo is a walkie-talkie app, and what Zelo is about is bringing live voice back to frontline workers. It's how we most naturally communicate. Your brain's evolved over millions of years to work with live voice, and it's perfect medium when your eyes and ears are busy doing something else, which is almost always true with construction workers.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot going on. Who are your current clients?
Well, there's a couple thousand, but the biggest set by far are companies that use it for driver dispatch, and the biggest component within there are materials handling and construction. And so they include customers like Bechtel, which uses Zelo for tens of thousands of workers in multiple projects, or Lafarge Holcim, or Cemex, or Summit Materials, or many companies. And then Zelo also has a free consumer app where there are over 140 million registered users. And of those users, the biggest set are drivers. So many small businesses and drivers in lots of industries use Zelo.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was doing some research on the Google, as they say, right? And fascinating the type of things that you can join in groups, otherwise private channels. Really, it could be an important tool for a construction industry.
Right, there are two sides to Zelo. So one is consumers, communities and families and friends that use it for communication, and then businesses use it to replace radio or carrier push-to-talk. But in both cases, kind of the heart of what makes it special is it's live human communication, just like we're doing right now with our voice. And so particularly for workers who are by themselves, they're in a cab all day long, or they're remote on a site, Zelo is their connection to the team, to the social cohesion of what makes it great to be part of a team and at work. And so that's one of the reasons it's been so popular. That style of communication, radio, for 100 years, and now Zelo is the same style of communication from an app.
So tell me, what are some new features? What's happening with Zelo? What's the future for it?
Yeah, so I mentioned we're particularly focused on driver dispatch, and there's a new product coming later this year that makes it communication so much better for large organizations. So So where organizations want to pool dispatchers, it makes the communication for both the driver and the dispatcher clear and consistent and measurable and just much better experience for everybody.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Ryan Driscoll from GPS Insight, thanks for joining me.
How you doing?
A lot of great things happening here at ConExpo. Innovation, technology is certainly on the forefront. How are you playing a role in the industry with that?
So I can really speak to technology from the fleet side. Lots of construction organizations have a ton of heavy equipment and a lot of trucks on the road, both big and like pickup trucks, for example, right? So from that perspective, we're really focusing on technologies to make them more efficient, more safe, which is a big one in this industry, more compliant. There's a lot of compliance issues that a lot of these construction businesses face, and then more accountable. So once those guys leave for the day to go on job sites, how can management hold them more accountable to their jobs? That's what we're really focused on.
Talk about the solution you provide.
Yeah, so we do, it's fleet management software. So we help businesses with GPS tracking. We help them with ELD, which is electronic logs, which is a compliance issue. The government mandated that guys with big trucks use electronic logs to monitor their hours behind the wheel. We also help with things like DVIR, which stands for Driver Vehicle Inspection Reporting. And drivers are required to do this by the DOT. They have to go around the truck and inspect the truck to make sure
everything's in place.
Exactly, that there's no defects in the truck. And if there are, they can just take a quick picture, send it into management, and then they can get it taken care of. And then of course we have our core product, which is the GPS tracking side of things, which is really where we started.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about the demand from customers for a more holistic approach when they look at their business.
Yeah, so the way it's been for a long time is this industry's been really siloed. There were the GPS tracking companies that just did one thing. Then there were companies that helped make the mobile workforce more efficient. They did things like custom forms that the companies or the technicians or the crews are required to fill out, or work order management where they had a work order on an app and they could see everything that they needed to do on that job for that day. But that was siloed in a different business as well. And so a construction business had to buy this one, had to buy this one, had to buy this one, and none of them talked to each other. So the goal here is to bring it all together and make it more holistic, and that's what our vision is. So we've been doing GPS tracking for a long time, and we just purchased a company called Service Bridge, who is focused in the mobile workforce management area. So their job is really taking over the oversight or the insight into what happens once a crew member or a driver of a truck leaves the truck to start doing work. So now we can see everything from planning the day to the trip the vehicle makes and what happens during that trip to now what's happening on the job, and then sending all that information back to headquarters so that electronically and in real time they're able to manage the business and understand what's going on.
I was just going to say, real time is key. Security has to be also a big point that your customers bring up.
Sure. You mean from a software security
Absolutely.
standpoint?
Yeah.
We have a very large development team in place, and a whole pillar of them are only focused on security to make sure that we don't have to worry about hackers and private information getting into the wrong hands. We have a lot of certifications for it as well to make sure that all their data is safe.
Really fascinating stuff. It's the way of the future.
It is.
Right? If you don't jump on board now, you're off the bus.
That's right. And a lot of the construction businesses out there are still on paper, so we're trying to help move everybody forward.
Corey Coble from JLG, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Diana.
All right, exciting topic to talk about. OEM Telematics solutions like Clear Sky. How is this different, better than third-party solutions?
Thanks for asking. The key to the OEM telematics solutions, you have that hardware integrated into the products, and then that allows for the ability to develop those next-gen solutions that are more integrated into the products.
So, new feature, you just released it about a month ago. Remote Analyzer Reader. Tell me more about that.
RAR, because us engineers love our acronyms, right? So, Remote Analyzer Reader is a feature. It's based off of, there's an analyzer that JLG's used for 20 years that is, you plug it into the machine and it's old school, right? But it's a familiar format. We have a lot of technicians in the field that are familiar with that sort of format. So rather than have to retrain an organization, this is the means to retrieve that information via telematics remotely. So you can go in and see a familiar data set. You can pick either individual pieces of that you want, whether it's the machine personalities or the machine setup or the fault code log, and go in and retrieve that and pull it back. And then those technicians can pick up on that information much more quickly by being able to see it in a one-page format as well. So it's even better than the old school analyzer where you're seeing one line at a time.
What caused JLG to go down this path?
It is, it's the old adage of when if you're looking for telematics, everyone's saying, where's the value, right? So this is a great example of where we can deliver extra value. Being the OEM, we can change the software and add this extra little bit of information. And again, like I say, it's that familiar format. So you don't have to retrain folks. You can go in and see that one-page summary of how that machine's set up to best answer the calls and maybe the issues the customers are bringing to you.
So easy effort to integrate?
It's very easy. So ClearSky is set up to be very easy to maneuver and walk through. So you just go in, they pick the machine, they walk into that asset then, and they can choose individual pieces of the report, or they can choose all the data, and they just retrieve it, and the system reports back to them the status of that. Once it's returned, all they have to do is click on the file, and then go in, and it's organized neatly. They can expand individual sections, or dive into the whole thing and be able to see that one-page summary again that really makes it more simple to get a picture of the health of that product.
You must be getting some great feedback about this solution.
It is. It's being very well received. I mean, I think the key, the folks that are saying is they really like the fact that it's the familiar format of that information that they've had for over 20 years.
It's solving a problem, right?
Absolutely, yep. Solving those problems, be able to say, hey, somebody the machine's not behaving like they expect it to, and JLG's ability to customize those products. Sometimes one operator's not anticipating the machine to operate like the previous operator. So those technicians can review that information from afar and determine what's the course of action to get that customer back where they want to be.